The 2012 Growing Sustainable Communities Conference, Western Region, is being held on Wednesday, May 2nd, 2012, at the St. Francis Winery.
Costs associated with energy that are either ignored, overlooked, or folks just don't know about. And I want to just point out a couple of those. Foreign oil, about 40% of our trade deficit. So if we want to make a dent in our economic problems, if we want to fix what's ailing us from a fiscal perspective, take it out of the trade deficit. We could make up a lot if we reduce the amount of foreign oil that we bring in to this country. And when you talk about 40%, that gets a little bit ambiguous, and folks can't always wrap their arms around that. So if you're explaining to somebody why it's important to promote renewable energy and why it's important to get away from importing oil from foreign countries, let me give you another number. If you don't remember anything else of what I said, remember this, because I think it's something that will turn some heads and get some attention during a dinner time conversation. And that's how much money we spend in this country importing foreign oil. Over $200,000 a minute is how much we spend bringing foreign oil into our country. And I think everybody knows that all those folks that we import oil from, they're not all our best friends. So a lot of that money is spent, a lot of that over $200,000 a minute is spent in ways that are not beneficial to the people of the United States of America. So we've got some great opportunities, some of which I'm working on, and some I've got some Republican colleagues of mine working with me. And I'm going to mention them briefly. I know that somebody's going to talk about the property assessed clean energy stuff, the PACE program. That's a program that I was intimately involved in. You're going to talk about it, right? Okay. That I was intimately involved in when it came about in Congress, and it's a program that has been tremendously successful, and you need look no further than this county to see the results of that success. Because when the rest of the surrounding area, was seeing a big drop in their housing starts and their remodels and their carpentry work and the work that their contractors do, Sonoma County held its own, did pretty good. And it wasn't because we were building any new houses. It wasn't because people said, geez, there's a recession, it's time to remodel our house. Because everybody was worried about this stuff, and rightfully so. It was because of PACE. The PACE program allowed people to go out and finance renewable energy projects for their homes and their residential and their commercial properties. And they knew it was the right thing to do. They knew it was the smart thing to do. And they knew that by doing so, they could save a lot of money on their electrical bills. And that kept us going. And surrounding areas that entered into the same aggressive programs did well also. Now, sadly, we don't have a PACE program. But this is an important bill. I am a co-author of the bill to fix what we don't believe needs to be fixed, but what's preventing DeMarco from allowing PACE to continue. And I'm working on it with two of my Republican colleagues, Dan Lundgren from over in the Sacramento area and Dan Hayworth from New York. So there is bipartisan work going on. The production tax incentive for wind is coming to a screeching halt at the end of this year and at the end of December. And this is a tough one because there's a lot of potential in wind development. And this is not one of the, in the jargon it's called extenders. It's the tax stuff that people like and agree need to be passed, and it usually gets drug out to the 11th hour, and then it gets extended, hence the name extender. And this is one of the extenders that needs to be extended, and folks realize that. But here's the deal: you can't wait till December to do it. You know that. If you're going to develop a wind project, you don't wake up on Tuesday morning and say, I'm going to develop a wind project, and I think I can have it up and going by Thursday. And it takes time. You've got to figure out where you're going to site these things. There's a process that you have to go through, all the permitting. You've got to figure out wind trends. You've got to line up financing. There's a manufacturing time window that you have to be cognizant of. It's a pretty long endeavor to bring this about. And we can't be extending the incentive at the last minute, because by the time it's extended, you don't have time to tee it up to actually bring it online. There's also manufacturing tax incentives for manufacturing. My biggest fear when we were doing in the often maligned stimulus bill, when we were doing all of the renewable energy components in the stimulus bill, it was my big fear that, great, we're going to do all this stuff, and there's an appetite out there to bring these things online, so we're going to do it, people are going to want to install it, and they're going to call China or Germany to have their solar panels built or whatever. That's why I had a bill that was folded into the stimulus bill that provided for manufacturing credit to build that stuff right here in the United States of America, so we could create those jobs here.